And if you haven't learned anything about 50 Cent, there's one thing you better know is that when he talks, you better take heed and you better listen. Even though he jokes some of the time, when he's talking and when he's serious, he's always giving some gems. Now, I peeped this post out on his Instagram, and he was pretty much responding to an article that said prosecutors are increasingly and misleadingly using rap lyrics as evidence in court. And that's flip.it, an article from them. Now 50 pretty much, went back to his lyrics back in '03 and said, yo, this is not new. If you say crazy on the record, they're going to use it against you. If you gang on a song, then you gang on when the indictment come. Full LOL. And I think that this is something that people, rappers need to take heed. You got rappers out there talking about, look, I don't even really do this. I'm just rapping it in a song. Well, if you just rapping it, that's one thing. But if you rapping it and you happen to be living it, you're actually inviting the feds in to do an investigation. Now you gotta understand, we know about the hip hop police. We've done several videos here on Hip Hop Censored about the hip hop police, and they're pretty much always been and are still very active in the hip hop community. We've seen a lot of people like Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, and other rappers now, Jets now, even being subject to police search, and even the feds now swooping in and trying to get these indictments. This is what they live for. You gotta look at it like, yo, this is their job. They are not going to spare me. Shit, if it was their family members, these feds is locking them up. That's the way you gotta look at it. So when you on there, when you saying all this stuff on your songs, when you talking about, you down with this and that, then eventually at some point in time they may look into it. And if you happen to actually be doing it, then you can actually get that indictment. How many rappers have we reported here on this channel that had indictments? It's been, tens of, I ain't gonna say thousands, but tens of almost, hundreds of rappers probably now that probably have some indictments, or we can count at least 10, I could say right now on our fingers, that have indictments from lyrics that they said. So we got to draw the line somewhere. The line has to be drawn in the sand somewhere, when people have to say, all right, man, enough is enough. I can't be incriminating myself. We know there's a large list of rappers who just self-incriminated. They said a lot of the things, and then when the feds were able to actually pry it into their life, they actually seen that, yo, these dudes actually doing it, and they began to build the case. So shout out to the OG 50 Cent. Always, like I said, dropping gems. Somebody who's that successful in the industry, in hip hop, with businesses and what he does in music, and where he's been able to go from where he started in Queens. You got to be able to give an ear and listen to our brother 50 Cent. All right, man, that's your brother Old God, man. If you love the content, man, subscribe to the channel. And soon after you subscribe, you got to hit the notification bell and select the option that says get all notifications from this channel, or else you will not get breaking updates like this on your phone. If something happens, you want to be in a know. The only way you're going to know, you got to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Select the option that says get notifications, get all notifications from this channel. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, you want to keep up with us, we have a website. It's hiphopun.com. And you already know we got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links are conveniently located in the description box right below where you see me speaking, and you see 50 Cent right there on the screen. All right, man, I'm out of here. On the way out, do me a favor, man. Smash that like button. It's free. It's free. Smash the like button and share this video on your Facebook timeline, or text it to a friend. Let them know the news. Let them know 50 Cent is speaking out. Let them know, look, man, try this channel out, Hip Hop News Uncensored. Check these brothers out over here. You know what I mean? They got the podcast, the website, and all that. Hey, man, that's enough for me talking. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all, please be safe in the crib, and always practice best policies. Wash your hands, wash your ass, and all that good shit. All right, man, I'm out of here.
I want to ask, like, what gives you your vision for your shoes? Because I close my eyes and I envision myself wearing the shoes, and I envision my dad wearing the shoes. So, are you African?
So just what's my vision when I design?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just so I grew up in church, so I've always been dapper, and I've always been in that lifestyle of wearing dress shoes or casual shoes. So my mom liked shoes, and I used to draw shoes in middle school and high school. So it really just came back to me. I really look at what's in the industry, and I just add my own twist to it. Like the gold tips that I got on the shoe, the gold tips I got on them. For example, this is like a regular Oxford that you would just find like they would be like the solid color of the shoe. But when I added the kilting, because I like doing stuff that's different, and then like the gold tip, I like to stand out. Although that I like the timeless look, it's more like conservative, but I like to have a little pop to it too. So the red bottom is okay. Somebody has to turn and walk away for you to see like the luxury or the flyness of that. But with my shoes, you can see somebody coming from afar and be like, oh shit, those shoes. So
like that.
so I just design from just what I like, and yeah, it's not really like too. It just comes to me. It's like natural. You know how everybody has their area of expertise and stuff just comes. People wonder like, oh, can we cuss on here? I can cuss on here, right?
Yeah, do you think, fam? Go, do you think?
Ahead.
I ain't want to be cussing and then like you got to cut shit out.
Hell no. Go, do you think, bro?
Yeah, but you know how people have an area of expertise and you look at them and like, oh shit, how did they think to do that, or how did they just like, how does their mind work on that? And it's the same with like the shoes. It's just just my area of expertise, and it's just something that comes natural to me, to be honest.
All right, that's dope.
Let me ask you this: is the gold tip on the shoe? Do you have that trademark? Is that patent exclusively for your brand only?
No, it's not, because mostly in the dress shoe industry, you'll see a lot of shoes that are the same. So you see your regular mark straps, Oxford goes, wing tips, and you see most of the same stuff. So nobody really like patents a dress shoe like style unless it's something that is monumental as the red bottom. And today, it's like there isn't a lot of stuff that you can do that hasn't been done, because there are some Adidas shoes that have like a gold shell toe tip on them. So yeah, it's a lot of shoes that have been done in gold already. So who am I to come in, and be like, hey, this is exclusive to my brand only. So it's not patent, it's not trademark. Just my logo is trademark and things like that. But in the future, if I ever design something that's like stupid, like crazy, like a whole new kind of like dress shoe, then that would be something I would probably like consider doing, because at this point, I just do I take the shoes that are out there, the style of shoes, and I add my own twist to them so they can be unique to my brand. So it's just more of a signature detail that people know from when they see my shoes, like, oh, that's LFLS shoes right there.
Cool. Are you actually any stores right now? You got any deal getting any designer clothing stores, anything?
No, everything is direct to consumer. So I love doing direct to consumer to build that generational wealth, and just leveraging and just building a brand and a platform for myself. I want it to be self-sufficient, and I want it to be like solid, before I even step into that realm, because it's like starting another business, going into like brick and mortars and stuff. And like the bigger goal for me is to eventually have my own brick and mortar. So I want to make it like more of an experience, because now brick and mortars are kind of like dying down. Not a lot of people going to shop. Even with this virus, we're being forced into like the digital age. So it's like, how can you be creative and think outside of the box to make the demand to come to your space still exist? So I'm big on experience, and we can talk more about that later. But yeah, everything is direct to consumer right now.
Right. So how did you initially, like when you got started, like when you made your first shoe, like explain the process of that and how you like blew up to where you are now? Because you had to start somewhere. Could you kind of walk us through the process of starting to getting where you're at right now?
Yeah. So starting, man, it's like, it's crazy, because I grew up in a poor, underrepresented area. So it's not like I had like an entrepreneurial mindset or just the funds or the background of knowing that you can start a business or having the step-by-step. So when I first started, I read an article about a girl that started a shoe company while I was majoring in fashion in Arkansas, where I'm from. And from that article, I was like, shit, she had money and connections. That's why she started it. And I was like, I don't got that, but I'm majoring in fashion, and I used to draw shoes. So let me start sketching and Googling and seeing who I could call, trying to get in contact with some factories or something like that. So I utilized my resources that I had, majoring in fashion, got in contact with an agent out in New York, and they ended up developing my samples for me. And then fast forward, and they ended up like screwing me over, which was kind of like a blessing and a curse. And I can talk about that more later too. But those are kind of like the first steps, just sketching, or initially having the idea to think like, okay, I can do this myself, and I can start a business, and I can create generational wealth. I don't have to go work for somebody else. And then knowing or thinking about, okay, what do I actually want to introduce to the market, and then that being shoes from that article, and then my mom jumping on to help me out with credit cards and stuff to get my first samples. So yeah, it was really just sketching, like an idea. You know how you have an idea And everything is an idea. Like even us being able to do this was an idea at one point.
Yeah.
I feel like if you manifest, if you have the faith, if you just like really work hard for, you can take stuff out of your mind and it becomes, like something that's physical or tangible to the world. So yeah, that's all it was. It was like an idea, and I just step by step, baby steps, and learning in the process on what I need to do. Because even right now, it's always a learning. It's always something to learn. It's always a lesson to be learned in a loss that you take. So I'm always taking losses. I'm always learning, and that's what it's been like since day one. So that's how it kind of like came about.
Awesome. Now you say you from Alabama or Arkansas?
Arkansas, country kid. I'm from the South.
You're all the way down from the South, man. Salute to you. So you're doing your thing. You're drawing shoes. You have aspirations to go ahead and make this dream come alive. What took you from Arkansas to Los Angeles, and what was that step? What were those steps like? What was that journey like? I used to live out in LA back in 2012, and I know going from Jersey to LA, going for a dream, that shit is not easy at all. So talk about the journey, talk about your trials, your tribulations, and getting to where you are now from Arkansas to LA.
Yeah, so like the biggest part of my story is like going way back to like right before I graduated college is 2013. Well, when I was like growing up, 2013 or 2010, my grandma passed. 2013, my dad passed. In 2016, right before I graduated college, my mom passed. So that's like a big part that inspires a lot of people. And your brand is, to me, I just released some digital guides to teach people about branding and business growth strategies and personal brand development. And for me, your story is such a huge part of your of your brand or your product, your service, whatever you do, or yourself, because that's what allows people to like get attached to you or your brand, and they can hate directly. But I've just been in LA for 8 months, so it's a new move, it's a fresh move. It's not like I've been here for like a few years or something like that.
Okay.
To make that move, it just really took me making that decision in my mind. Because there were small things that were holding me back. But I really wanted to build a good foundation before I did make any kind of move, because I didn't want to be that person that came to LA and I was like, oh shit, I moved to LA just to make it happen, because that's what people think is going to happen. You move to LA and shit just pops. So I wanted to really build a foundation, really build a community, and build a brand, and see like if my product was really something that people wanted. So that was a long process within itself from 2016 up until 20. Can y'all hear that too when somebody texts me on my computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know if it happens again, I'll try to figure out how to like turn it off, because I can't hear y'all unless I turn it up. But yeah, I decided to move last year around March, like April. I decided to move, and I made a trip to LA, and I made another trip the next month, and then after that, I moved within like 3 months. So. And it was really like a quick thing, because one of my mentors out here, he was like, you should move, why haven't you moved? And he's successful. So I really think the mentorship part plays a huge part in like the next big move that you make when it's something like that, because I made a lot of big leaps of faith. And this was kind of like the biggest one that I've made outside of like just starting a business and going full time into it after college. But yeah, it was really just mentorship and just like me understanding I need to build a brand before I really moved. Because I wanted to move when I first graduated, because I just lost my mom. That first order of shoes came in late, and when it came in, they were defective and lower quality than what I wanted. So it was really a lot of stuff that was fucked up with that, and it was basically taking something that somebody else would see as nothing, and making something out of that. So I've always prided myself on doing more or less, and it started off from nothing. So just to be from Arkansas to LA and just look back to see, that journey and all the losses and all the not having enough funding and the sales not being great and all the shoes being screwed up on that first order, and just really all the trials and tribulations within that journey. It's a lot of different stuff. So I could sit and talk about, this and this, but, overall, the move from Arkansas to LA has just been, me being consistent and, just really taking that leap of faith and having the right people in my circle to push me off of that cliff so I can take that leap and give me that confidence and reminding me that I am great, and I have something that people want, so.
Dope.
So as I am I'm about to be 22, still in college, and I have a lot of friends that have took that path, that leap, but then they stopped, they got stagnant. So as as a person in your stature right now, as a mentor, what is that next leap that you have to take?
Who, like me personally, or talking about you yourself?
Like, as just like, what do you have to do after that point? Like, after you've got stagnant.
After you gotten stagnant.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I would look back to, is it something you're passionate about? You know, because if it's something you're passionate about, you really don't become like stagnant in it. Just like you, the love you have for it and the passion that you have for it, no matter what happens, you know, whether there's a roadblock that holds you out for like a month and you're really like depressed for that whole month because you don't think anybody wants to buy your product, you know, that's when the passion and the love for what you do kicks in, and you have to think, okay, why did I start doing this? You know, what's my purpose? You know, what's the foundation that I've built off of? You know, and that, I feel like that allows people that are in a stagnant you know, position to push through that, because they go back to the roots. You know, they figure, okay, this is why I started this. This is what I've been through already, and if I can get through this, I can get through this specific situation I'm in right now too, as well. Because there have been months or months, weeks, however long, where I've been, you know, depressed and like, dang, you know, sales aren't coming in, or you know, do people want my shoes anymore? Even this virus, like people that aren't passionate about what they're doing, they will like they'll just give up, you know, because the pandemic and the lockdown has a lot of people like panicking and just figuring, okay, what can I do? Or, you know, everything is just going to go to shit. And it's like, if you're passionate about what you're doing, and if you really tap into yourself and you figure out how you can diversify and keep moving forward, you know, I feel like that helps people get through those situations, as well as your circle. Like the people that are around you, I can't say that enough. Like the people that you acquire as friends or mentors or business partners along your journey are going to be the most important and impactful people in your life and your journey and like to success, because they'll be there when you're in your room and you're depressed and you feel like, yo, I should give up, I should go get a job, and they'll be the ones that talk to you like, yo, do you not see what you've done in the past 2 years to build to this point? Like, how many people are doing this? How many people are doing that? Because when you're in the mess, it's hard for you to see exactly what you've done and put it into perspective how great you are as an individual. Because it's easy for me to go preach to somebody and talk them up and pour into them, but if I'm not being poured back into, then it becomes an empty glass, and I feel like, yo, I ain't shit. But in actuality, you like hit the top 1%, you know, doing what you're doing. So
right,
it's really important to have that circle around you.
Do you I want to ask you the process of the making a shoe now. How is it? Are you have a warehouse set up now? How does that process go? Are you touching any shoes anymore? Do you have a team? And also talk about the importance of, you know, having a good team behind you as well.
Yeah. So the process of making my shoes, my factory is in Brazil. So my factory there, they produce all the shoes that I design, and then they ship them to me. And I personally like package every shoe that comes through, every order that comes through my website. I package it. I like print the label, fold it, put it in there, tape it up, take it to UPS. Like I'm doing everything because, you know, the brand can look as if it's like a huge brand from the outside, but on the back end, it's like that person is still putting in a lot of work to actually make that brand, you know, take it to the point where they don't have to touch everything. And I feel like it's a beautiful thing to be able to be hands-on with your brand, because a lot of people, they'll have the money or the capital to hire somebody else, or, you know, let stuff be automated, and they won't understand what's actually going on in their business. And if I don't understand what's going on with accounting or fulfillment or with bookkeeping, whatever legality, I'm like, yo, how can I? You can't really just run your own business, you know. So it's really important for me to, or anybody to get it that gets in business, to have to understand every aspect of their business and really work in every, like, wear every hat. You know, a lot of people don't want to do that, but you know, I wear every hat in my business, and then even outside of my business, because I do more things than just the shoes. I do a lot of stuff. So, you know, that's so I handle everything. I run everything out of my apartment. But the factory, like I said, is in Brazil. And when it comes to team, you still have a team whenever, even if you're the one that's like doing everything within the business, because that goes back to your circle. Because you might have a business partner within your circle that you're partnered with in another venture, and they assist you within your business. You know, they might not be a salary employee or something like that, but they're in your circle. And if you need some tips or advice, you know, it's kind of like friends with benefits, but the benefits within the business is like financial gain and just the knowledge that they can pour into your life. So, you know, it's the circle. It goes back to the circle too when it comes to like the team that you'll have within your business. And that can, and it's just like a marriage. You know, whenever you do get to the point where you do have like a business partner come on within the business you've been working in yourself, or you have an employee, you have to understand that, it can't just be anybody. You're not just gonna get married to any woman just walking down the street. So it's like within your business, your baby, the thing that you built, blood, sweat, and tears over the past 4, 5, 6 years, is like that next person that comes into that business has to really fit the mold that, or just be that person that represents the brand in a good way, or really they're as passionate about it as you are, which is hard to find, but somebody will come along and really fit that mold, and assist you in the way that you need to be assisted. So, but yeah, I do everything myself.
Right. So why would somebody, buy your shoe over like a Stacey Adams or another shoe? Because, I also want to ask you too on the back end of this, are they comfortable, your shoes? Because I know that for me, I like dress shoes, but a lot of times they're not comfortable. And if you wear them so long, you start getting corn. So tell us the process to win into making sure like, all right, mine's going to be not only look better, but be more comfortable than the competition.
Yeah. So even with me stepping into the luxury market of shoes, most of those shoes are made in Italy. And the last that they're made on is really narrow. So the Italian last is always known for, like, if you wear Louboutin shoes, you're probably gonna have sore feet just because like the toe box of that shoe is a lot more narrow. But with mine, I made sure to make mine like from an American last, so it's more room. It's a standard D width, but it's not like narrow and like pointed at the toe. So I've gotten great reviews on comfort when it comes to wearing the shoes, and then of course like the style that I put into them, like the different design features, also allows them to stand out, because most of the time when you shop at these bigger brands, or even if they're just like, because the bigger brands are like, where I want to place myself is like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. And then if you come down to in the dress shoe industry, there's more like Allen Edmond, McNaughty, Aldo, Steve Madden, like you mentioned, and things like that. So I like to have the fit and the comfort of the middle class, like Allen Edmond, McNaughty, and Steve Madden, but have like the style and be a fashion forward shoe company, to stand beside those brands that are like household names within the luxury industry. So with mine, you get comfort, class, and you get cause. I say that a lot: comfort, class, and cause. So comfort, being my shoes are actually like comfortable shoes. Class, because they're kind of like vintage with a twist. I say that a lot. And then cause, because there's a purpose behind my shoe company. And when people actually know that when they put my shoes on, they step into my story. So my like kind of tagline is "Put yourself in my shoes."
Mm-hmm.
So I like letting people know the story behind the business, and the story is kind of always on the forefront, because it inspires a lot of people. And when they put the shoes on, they actually step into my life and the journey that I've been on while creating this brand. So, and then also just shifting the narrative. People understand when they go to my Instagram page, my shoe company, it's like a camera roll of Black excellence, So I love being able to shift the narrative and take that back within our community, like one shoe at a time. Because when I see guys that wouldn't typically wear suits, put on a tailored suit and then put on my shoes, or if I'm scrolling down the feed and I see my shoes, I'm like, dang, this is like, it's really impactful to me, but also like that community that I'm like, inspiring and uplifting and shifting the narrative of. So yeah, that's why comfort, class, and cause.
Dope. Speaking on your brand, you got your Instagram, LFLS Shoes. Speak on that. What does that mean? Give us the mission statement behind your shoe.
Yeah, so LFLS Shoes, it stands for Like Father, Like Son legally. And I picked Like Father, Like Son because I wanted to have the same exact dress shoes for the father and the son, because I kind of see it falling short whenever, you see a father, they're out at a formal event and they got on the same exact custom suit, but when it comes to the shoes, it always falls short. So I wanted to kind of like fill that void seamlessly by offering the designer shoe to go along with that for the father and the son. And then I introduced women's shoes. So I was like, it grew and it became bigger, and it was more of a family thing. So I looked at it as like actually bringing the Black family or any family back together through the connection of like style, and just like, everybody being able to wear the exact same shoe or similar shoes whenever they go to a formal event or step out and they want to be dapper and elegant, So that's the name, and that was the purpose behind the name. And now it's gotten, how you plant a seed for something and you water it and it grows into something bigger. Yep. That's kind of what happened with that vision behind Like Father, Like Son. And now it's like a full family kind of deal.
Vic, the intern, brought you in here. He got us, he introduced us like, yo, this dude, he make these dope ass shoes, man. He got all the celebrities out there wearing the shoes, all these celebrities wearing the shoes, man. Talk about how the celebrities started catching wind of your brand, the first celebrities that caught wind of your shoe, purchased your shoe, and who you out here tailoring up and getting right now.
Yeah, so I worked with a few. When I got here, when I moved to LA, people knew me from social media and things like that, from my personal brand as well as the shoe brand. And then I've just been getting connected with the right people, and a lot of stylists reach out to me directly so they can pull for me for photo shoots and stuff like that. So I mean, Mario has been in the pair. He did his album shooting at Don Benjamin.
I seen that.
Don Benjamin wears them all the time. I've had Tasha Page Lockhart, Anthony Anderson. Freak, who else? Many this kid that's on a Disney movie. But yeah, they catch wind a lot from social media and just the way I market and brand my business, but then a lot also from just stylists pulling for me and wanting to like put my shoes on their clients. So I mean, the celebrity stuff is cool, but I really want them to understand the importance of like supporting businesses, because a lot of them will get on social media and post like, "Oh, support Black-owned business, support Black-owned business," and they'll be like, "Send them to my PO box." I'm like, bro, you got to like buy this shit. Like these businesses can't fucking survive off just sending all these celebrities product, and then they only wear it one time, they don't post it, they don't tag it, or they don't wear it at all. So it's like, if you really put money in that business bank account, and then you actually get the product, you actually wear it, and you actually try to show it off and tag it like you do Gucci, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi product, we would go further as a community, and as like a community of brands, because you don't really see a lot of luxury Black brands. You always see like t-shirts, hats, this and that, but you never see something that can be long lasting and timeless and really stand beside these brands that we idolize today. So that's something I wish they would understand, is like actually investing in these brands and not just saying, "Oh, send me your product so I can do nothing with it." And if I do post it, it's like, okay, you post it, but that shit it's like it really don't put, it can put money in a brand's pocket, but with a brand like with a product like mine, people have to see that shit like 6, 7, 8 times before they even like to say, okay, bet I'm gonna invest in this shoe.
Right.
So it has to be something where that celebrity builds a relationship with that brand, and they really want to support them, and they understand the mission and the vision of that brand, and their community or their fan base can actually see the connection between them and that brand, and they can believe it more. And then once they see, like I said, they got to see it over and over again. But when I get to the point where I'm like super icon, A-list celebrity, I want to actually like purchase each product, and I want to reach out like, "Oh, I like I might reach out and say, "Hey, I like your product," whatever. But I'm gonna make sure I actually like purchase the product, and if it's something I like, I mean, I'm not gonna buy it if I don't like it. So because I want to wear it. I don't want to just buy it and just like throw it to the side. I want to actually like buy it and like wear it, so I can tell people about it, and I can just tell people like, "Yo, they didn't send me this for free. I know this brand. I believe in this brand. I bought this shit. You should go buy it too." So I feel like that's more powerful than just getting the free product sent to you.
Definitely.